The Suzuki Jimny JB74, the brand new retro looking off-roader made by Suzuki. Not a sleek line in sight, it's square, it's boxy, it's retro looking, it looks like a mini G-Wagon but for a quarter of the price. And I've owned this for about 3 months now. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is the things that I really love about it. I've been getting used to it over the past 3 months, and I love things, I hate things. I'll explain the things that I hate in a completely different video, but this video is all about the things that I love about this vehicle. And at the end of this video, I'll explain to you, or I'll sort of give you my verdict on whether I think any of you guys should buy one of these if you may be thinking about it. So let's do business. Now before we get started, it is important for me to even things out. So I've also made a video on the things that I hate about this car. So you should also check out that video because it's not all sunshine and roses with this Suzuki Jimny. So the first thing that I love about this car is the looks of it. It looks aggressive, it looks modern and retro at the same time. It has about £7,500 worth of modifications which enhance that aggressive look, but this thing looks equally as good as it comes out of the box. Square corners everywhere, big chunky tyres, super bright LED spotlights and light bar, bull bar, side steps, rear ladder and a whole host of interior mods which make this car more usable day to day. I will be doing another video on the modifications on this vehicle in a separate video, so if you like these Jimnys, be sure to check that video out coming soon. Number 2 on the list, and not that I practice it too much, but it is the off-roading capability and ability of this Jimny. It's absolutely fantastic. I've taken this Jimny through places where other cars have been abandoned. I've had fun in mud baths and generally tried to explore places that I probably had no business exploring, but it was still an opportunity for me to put the car to the test. Look, I know this isn't exactly extreme off-roading, but it's dealt with the terrain that we put in front of it without any problem whatsoever. I'm confident that this can get us out of any pickle. Next up is the rear boot space. Because this is the LCV light commercial vehicle, it has no rear seats, and therefore the cabin area has a lot of storage in the rear. And I generally use this as a dog hauler, but can load it up and take big payloads to the local tip site. Even though it is classed as a commercial vehicle, I had no issue with going to the tip with it. Most commercial vehicles will need a license, I think, but just be careful if you no longer have the guard installed, because if you've got a lot of payload in the back there, things can and will come flying into the front cabin. Ask me how I know. Next up is this vertical windscreen, a very cool feature. Not many vehicles have this, but I think it adds to the charm and the rustic feel of the vehicle. Like I say, it's a feature which is not really shown on any other vehicles. The only other cars I can think of is maybe some Minis, the Land Rover Defenders, and probably a few other SUVs that don't really come to this country, being in the UK. So there might be some around the world, you guys will correct me on that. But the vertical windscreen, almost vertical windscreen, looks fantastic in my eyes. Next up is the turning circle. The turning circle is really good. It's so easy to park, it's easy to maneuver in and out of tight spaces. It makes a great contender for a perfect city and country car. To test out the turning capabilities of this Suzuki, I put some cones out in a local car park and I was absolutely amazed at the results. I put these cones extremely close together and had no issues getting in and out of the cones that were really packed tightly together. Next up is the interior noise, vibrations and rattles. I'm pleasantly surprised with this Suzuki Jimny. With the big open space in the rear, I would expect there to be a lot of noise and vibrations, but in this vehicle there are no vibrations. One of the things that I hate in any car is rattles, vibrations, and even with that big as open space in the rear, as I say, no sound deadening in there at all. There are no rattles and it's really civilized inside. Not loud as you would expect unless you're on a motorway trying to do about 70 or 80 miles an hour. That's a completely different story, but only then you'll actually only hear engine noise, not rattles and vibrations. So the interior is a nice quiet drive if you're just tootling around the local roads and you don't want to put the radio on. So next up on the list is the fuel consumption. I think I did mention this also in the things that I hate about this car. The MPG I get is around about 32 or 33, so it actually isn't too bad. And currently a full tank of petrol costs me about £50 and gives me 250 miles. So as I say, it's not too bad, but I think the reason I also included this in the things that I hate about the vehicle is because I would have expected better in a smallish car made from tin foil and has a 1.5 litre engine. Well, I suppose those chunky tyres don't help this issue. So at the start of the video I said I'd give you my verdict as to whether I think maybe other people should buy one of these, and it's not really a straightforward answer. I think it depends on your circumstances. So let's say for example you need to be doing a lot of motorway miles, you travel back and forwards a lot, quite far distances, maybe 20-30 miles per day, and you're on sort of high speed dual carriageways, motorways, then I would probably say that this is not the car for you. That being said, if you only use a car for sort of local drives around your local village, town, country, or you generally don't do that many miles, or the miles that you do are all on like kind of back roads, small country lanes, then I would say this car would definitely be an asset to you and your family or your specific setup. That being said, anybody who wants to use a car like this as a second car, then it would be great if you plan to use it to go camping, go off-roading, or just generally have fun in a four-wheel drive and maybe try to go off the beaten track and go places where you've never been before. So it all really depends on your specific circumstances. If it's your only car and you need to do a lot of motorway miles, a lot of high-speed driving, then I would say no. If you're not in a hurry and back roads, fun, SUV, off-roading, then yes, absolutely. But I love this little car. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to keep this forever or a long time, but the time that I've had with it so far, I've had a lot of fun with it. I've enjoyed it, and I hope to continue doing that over the winter months and through in the next summer and the next winter as well. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos on this little Suzuki Jimny here. I plan to do a lot more over the summer and winter months. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.